I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I think we have a presentation this meeting. You want to take that?
All right.
Okay.
So, that starts off with me, huh?
Yes. So we'll begin with yours. I'm going to get the presentation up on the screens for you right now.
All right. And how do I turn my mic
It's on.
on? There we
Yep,
go.
I gotcha.
And I didn't have my glasses, so I'm going to have to use the paper. All right. So last meeting, I had said that I wanted to go through the an old parks draft master plan. It was done in 2009. I went through that and I pulled out some other things that I thought were worth mentioning in here. And there's other stuff in there that's probably worth going over. So it's enhancing parks, trails, and open spaces. It has goals, funding strategies, and for a comprehensive recreation system. So, of course, the master plan's vision is to build a high-quality, diversified public park system, establishing Orville as a regional river recreation center. There's a lot of, as I went through it, there's a lot of stuff that was targeted for improvements along the Feather River. And then some approaches and achieved master plan goals. So approaches to finance to achieve the master plan goals. As I did some of the research, I found some grants that are available for improved like launching pads through California. I can't remember which public agency it was, but they're specifically geared towards like kayaking and those sort of things. Yeah, waterway improvement. So the Nick,
Commission?
what's that?
Was it the Coastal Commission?
It's in here coming up. I'm pretty sure.
Didn't mean to get ahead of you.
Yeah. For building a high quality diversified public park system, defining the areas for high quality and diversified park system, ensuring convenient, accessible. These are a lot of this is a lot of boilerplate that's pretty common nowadays. It's not. I wouldn't say not groundbreaking, but it's just a good sort of map for keeping everything in sort of a goal direction and, providing varied recreation opportunities for all residents. I mean, so pickleball to fishing to kayaking, that sort of thing. Park, like neighborhood parks, as well as like bigger public meeting areas. Next slide. So yeah, neighborhood parks, just trying to get into some of the neighborhood. That might be a little more challenging. Like I think like the Rotary Park is more like a neighborhood park as opposed to something like Bedrock, which would be more of a community park. Specialized areas, this is all stuff that I think would be along the Feather River itself. And then, of course, natural spaces like the walking paths. All of this stuff is looking at a more holistic avenue so it would, the Feather River Parks District, other agencies like that would have to be involved as, trying to bring the whole area into one sort of vision. That's sort of that is the plan for a master plan. All cylinders firing in the right order. Next slide, please. So, of course, part of the goals is to promote physical health and mental well-being, enhance community engagement and social connections. I think social connections in public space is super important. Get off our phones or connect through our phones and then meet in real person. Range of options to include passive activities, hiking trails, picnic areas, sports fields, playgrounds. I heard you mention Boshi Ball earlier. So I remember those at Hewitt Park when I was a kid. Impact a diverse recreation program. It increases tourism by providing cohesive and distinctive recreational opportunities that will generate economic benefits for the city. One of the things that I noticed, I grew up here in Orville and I left for a long time and I came back. When I was a kid, I remember we'd drive up to Table Mountain, we'd jump the fence, we'd fly our kites, and people would, there wasn't a organized structure, right? Well, now there is an organized structure up there. And when I go up there during the bloom, you've got tour buses of people coming from Sacramento, international people, it's, so just that little bit of recreation and really utilizing the resources of the Orville area could really help, I think, long-term in just tourism in general. And then, of course, design elements to boost inclusivity and health outcomes, multi-use trails suitable for walking, biking, and wheelchairs. And if I didn't mention this, my aunt would probably kill me, horseback riding. So, because I know a lot of times horseback and mountain bikes are conflicts, but there are ways to do those trails so that they can accommodate in both directions. So proximity to parks is a key idea. 10 minutes, ideally within, that came out of the plan, ideally within a 10-minute walk or about a half mile, inclusion, ADA ramp, compliance, multilingual signage, culturally relevant programming. Obviously, we have the Chinese temple here. We have a rich history of diverse communities, and that could be really focused in on and brought up. Research shows that parks are within a half mile significantly boost community physical activity. So these are neighborhood parks. Accessibility, meaning safe, affordable, and convenient access for all Orville residents, include youth, seniors, and persons with disability. Transportation connections. Obviously, there's the B-line, where we could utilize setting up the B-line or work with them to make sure that stops are hitting all of our parks. I don't really know the B-line system that well, and maybe they already have some of that in place, but definitely worth, again, a multi-agency approach to improving and following a plan to an ultimate goal. And then use surveys and GIS mapping to identify current accessibility gaps and guide and improvement. So I think one of the things that we've talked about with Bedrock is using that as a launching point for kayaks, and then maybe an out point down at River Bend. We have the trail the whole way, but actually getting down to the river is not necessarily an easy thing to do, especially if you're not able-bodied. Let's see, key points, focus. So this was one of the ones that I took out specifically out of the plan. It's a 118-page document. It's really not that long. I work in government, so. So supporting river-centered recreation initiatives, water-based recreation opportunities, boating, fishing, kayaking, can establish a key regional Orville as a key regional destination. Water-based recreation is a major driver of California's economy. I believe, did I put it in there? It's like 18 or 8 billion. It's in the billions for California. Well, it just says billions in annual expenditures, supporting tens of thousands of jobs and significantly boosting local tourism. Educational signage to inform users about river ecology and safety. I know we have some things that leave out of the fish hatchery right now that My son just did a tour with one of those groups, so an expansion on those sort of things. And of course, engaging with, the fish hatchery as part of this. Success depends on collaboration among many stakeholders. So developing a comprehensive access network to the Feather River. So the goal is to create integrated access networks combining trailheads, parking, ADA compliant docks, and clear signage. There's not bad parking really. I think you can park along most of the levee, if we have some access spots put in. Obviously, there's the Bedrock parking lot, and then there's the Riverbend parking lots. Riverbend, especially during soccer season, can be kind of hard to park at. Identify current gaps in access points along the Feather River, kind of a theme here. Implement phased infrastructure investments to close access gaps and boost visitation. So the Division of Boating and Waterways Local Assistance Statewide Non-Motorized Boat Launching Facility Grant Program, fiscal year 26, which I sent Kayla the link to it. And that one, I think, is something that we should seriously consider pursuing.
Yep, just so you're aware, I did follow up with the city administrator. I've started to work on that. Previously we had this on our radar to potentially partner with other agencies like Feather River, so we could apply together. With the short time frame, they're not able to make that. So right now what we're discussing is whether that is something that would it be competitive for us to apply on our own, or what that looks like. But I just want to let you know it is moving along.
Well, that's good. That's good. Again, back to multimodal connectivity, transit links, bicycle routes, pedestrian, and this time I did put in the horse access.
There you go.
So Oroville has a lot of unique attributes, right? We have Table Mountain, we have the river. Oroville combines stunning natural landscapes with rich cultural heritage. Again, a lot of diverse, a lot of people came through here through the years. We were a huge population at one time down to a small population, and there's a lot of those cultures, and the history is still around us. We have, obviously the gold rush, history and pioneering history that we can tap into, the Chinese temple, all of those things. Oroville combines stunning natural landscapes with rich cultural heritage, creating a distinctive setting for recreation and education. These initiatives attract a diverse range of visitors, strengthen community pride, collaboration with tribal groups and local history organizations ensure authenticity and promotes stewardship. Obviously, the tribes here, you get visitors here that are here for the recreation, or they come for the casinos and then they get to enjoy the recreation. It's a 2-for-1, Funding strategies for achieving master plan goals. So these are just sort of boilerplate places that you can look: federal grants, private donations, local government budgets, corporate sponsorships. I don't know how much corporate sponsorship we use in Oroville, but public and private partnerships, and of course you want to diversify. You don't want all of your funding coming from one spot, because any one of them can dry up at any time. And growing interest from private parties, interest in environmental and recreational projects, and secure a sustained funding streams. Grant opportunities, I mentioned again we can get from the California State Parks, funding for outdoor recreation and environmental restoration projects, National Endowment of the Arts, obviously that's more along the line of the Art Commission, but I've seen some neat art projects that have been coming up. The murals along the wall over there?
So those are complete. The one on Table Mountain, those are complete right now. That was done by the Rainforest Art Project.
Nice. And so again, one of the key takeaway from the draft master plan is the importance of partnerships. So collaboration with regional agencies, nonprofits, education institutes, enhanced project scope. Partnerships strengthen grant applications by combining expertise and resources. I think it said if you have a well collaborated and partnered grant application, you have like a 80% better chance of getting the grant. Sustainable financial planning and community engagement. So figuring out your program funding, your maintenance costs, staffing expenses, volunteer opportunities, like being a docent for the museums or other public forums, and all of these things increase in successful bond measures and any sort of tax initiatives. Tax initiatives probably don't go over well here, but at least maybe not even bonds, but
Grants and gifts are the way to go on this one. Other people's money.
yeah, right. Or big donors. So the conclusion is building a vibrant and accessible recreation future for Orville through diversified park system with high quality facilities, river access points, and inclusive recreational opportunities. Orville's draft master plan focuses on developing a diverse, high-quality park system, emphasis on inclusive recreation opportunities, accessible to all residents, strategic vision to establish Orville as a regional river recreation center. As you know, obviously we have the lake and other stuff. Leveraging Orville's unique nature, natural and cultural aspects to enhance appeal. Outlined strategic funding approaches to support sustainable growth. I think, you know, obviously with the Hewitt Park and Bedrock, we're moving forward right down these lines. But, you know, it would be nice if we could actually put together, if not completely from the 2009, the ask is to actually come together with an actual new draft plan. This draft plan was 2009 and was designed to coincide with the city's I don't know if it was a master plan that would until 2030. So technically this master plan is, even though it was a draft and I don't know that it was ever officially adopted, is good until 2030, which means an account of what happened between 2009 and now, and then a decision on where our vision is as a community with the partners and stakeholders we have is probably something we need to really look at over before and have in place before 2030. I think so. Yes?
I was on the council I think it was right after I left the council that they finished this plan, but our vision at the time was across the street to walk up to the river, you know. But the green area was to have farmers markets, and also it could be a place where kids can play when they're not doing the farmers markets and things like that. But I don't know if this is ever going to get sold off or done anything with, but that I still think that was a great vision at the time. To start right there, and then you work your way down to all the way to Riverview. And I think Bedrock's a great place to put in kayaks.
Right.
They already have the thing come out at Riverbend.
Are you talking about instead of the buildings or behind the buildings?
It was instead of the buildings, because that's kind of a super fun, because it being a car dealership for so long, they really can't do much with that property. So filling it in and putting greenery over the top of it was actually better than doing a lot of stuff with it. I don't don't know if that'll ever come to happen or not, but at the time, I thought it was a really great vision. It's close enough to downtown, you can still have the farmers markets, you can still have all the stuff going on.
Do you know what year that was about?
Well, I was on the council from 2002 to, I think, 8 or 10. But it was sometime around there. I know we were doing some master plans, and we had talked about, and we started the Gateway project down here, which was a big bust. But, I mean, that, someday that may happen too, so.
The Gateway Project?
Yes.
On the corner of Montgomery and,
Highway 70, right?
At the highway,
it's a highway.
like between the highway and Bedrock.
Oh, okay. That was, what was the project there?
It's a big
That's,
conversation.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
a big
okay.
conversation. I'm happy to pull city documents and send them to you, though, if you would like.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a hotel, things like that. Convention center, none of that obviously ever happened, but, that's what I'm just telling you about. This was part of the vision, I believe, in that to start it up here, all the way up here and go all the way down to Riverbend, because that pulls the whole downtown area into Riverbend, basically.
Right.
I mean, we don't take advantage of our river
Like Spokane, I think,
some cities do, yeah.
I think a good model, as I talked about this and I looked at this, I don't know if you've ever spent time in Spokane and seen what their river front looks like. So you got commercial type buildings, and then on the other side, they have a walkway and as you walk around the river, there's parks. They have this huge, it's a wagon. It's like 12 foot tall, but it just looks like the Red Flyer wagons. And then they have bridges ever so often, so you've got both sides of the river that you can go to and
Cities that
foot,
have done that
yeah.
have benefited from that. And that's where we have a beautiful river here, you know, do something with it.
Yeah. That's it for me.
Okay, perfect. So this was agendized to receive for information, so that's been
I have a
provided.
question.
Go ahead.
So this was never adopted, correct?
I do believe that is correct. Yes.
And you were on the council, not the commission?
I was on the council. I don't remember if it was done before I got off the council.
Yeah, I think I got an email that confirmed it was never adopted. And it's not the commission that would adopt it, it's the council that would adopt it, right?
Correct.
So I'm assuming we would be allowed to have some input, maybe? Is this something that staff is,
We'd have to look at the
I don't believe so.
So I'll
I
look
don't
into
think-
it, but
Yeah,
I do
I mean-
believe it is something that we do have a master plan for the city that the council
Yeah.
does oversee. And this might be, depending on how the charter reads, it could be something that is implemented into the master plan itself versus it being a separate thing from the park commission.
And maybe it would be good for this new board, since we are kind of a new board, to get the information. But when I first started on this commission, we did have a presentation from legal that basically went over our powers. And I think we have like 2 powers, like
Yes.
hours of parks, and you've got the rules on here, but I think everything else is council.
Yeah, and if you would like, and there's an appetite,
superintendent of parks.
Correct. Yep.
so if there's an appetite from the commission, I'm happy to arrange that for the next park commission meeting to have legal here. They can go over that with you, especially since you guys are comprised mostly of new members.
I think that would be
Yeah.
helpful.
Okay. I'll reach out to him after this meeting.
Thank you.
You bet. Okay.
Can I say one more thing? I think the reason a lot of this fell in between the cracks is because they lost RDA funding after I got off the city council. And the city,
It's all your fault.
it wasn't my fault, the state took the RDA
Yeah.
funding. I didn't even know it was gonna
every community, right?
Yes.
Yep.
That was, at that point, they couldn't adopt anything because they had no funding to do it. So if you guys can think of some ways to fund some things, I'm sure they would be happy to listen to it.
Okay.
Is this where I ask if there's any blue speaker cards?
Yes, I have no submitted blue public comment cards.
Okay. All right, so let's see.
Be interesting if the new power company can find something, or renovating a green area to kind of redo the whole circle of renewal from the toxic site.
All right, if you want to do the regular business with the Hewitt Park update, Tim?
Thank you. Good evening, commissioners, chair lady, and commissioners. I don't have any update on Bedrock Park. Bedrock is still going through the design process right now. I should receive some design documents next week. I'll review those, provide comments back to the designers, and I'll be able to present something to you in a couple months. So the April meeting is when you can expect something on Bedrock. And that one, we are definitely gonna go after grant funding because it's $1 million right now construction bill just for phase one. Phase two would be another add a factor. But if you go to, so I'm gonna present some rules, draft rules, and we'll talk about rental rates. I presented what we talked about last time in December to the council in January. It was, and I received some direction to go study some more. Hewitt Park proposed rules. So we met as a team, the city and Feather River Parks and Rec. Kind of want to align the area parks and the rules and the expectations. We're going to try to see about staffing, sharing some staffing, like there's some double work going on that there's some synergies that we can gain and efficiencies for some of the staffing things that we're running up against. The council was good with the 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday to Thursday and 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Friday and Saturday. So we're good there. So I want to say first out, there's no fee to enter the park. I want to make that public right now. No fee to enter the park. So all sites, except the picnic pavilion, want to make first come, first serve. Looking at how to do rentals on the field and rentals on the pickleball courts, we're not set up for it. We don't have the IT capabilities, the staffing, the capability really. Online is where I want to lean on because I think that's going to be the most up to date. But we can leverage what we have for the pavilion. We already do it with the other parks, so it's pretty easy. No weapons or firearms. That one's kind of a no-brainer. I know we want to limit things.
Oh, and I'm sitting next to her. I'm sorry,
That's push-ups. That's push-ups.
I just want to make a point of clarification before you leave the first one. So
You'll have a chance afterwards. Just save questions. There's a blue card right over here.
oh, I forget that part.
No glass containers, alcohol without written permit. So this would be like if you're gonna have a public gathering in the grass field, any congregating event would require a special use permit, and you'd do your alcohol application there. So that would not be done through me. That'd be done through community development. No drugs, no camping, overnight parking, no littering, no smoking. We want to make this a tobacco-free park. That's more in line with what else we've got around town. More general rules, I want to allow charcoal only in the picnic pavilion barbecue. We have one barbecue on site, and that's the only place I want charcoal to be. That way we keep the hot ashes in the hot ash place. propane grills at the other picnic tables. There's a couple of sites around that have picnic tables, and I think it'd be a good idea to allow those. You know, we want people here. We want a presence at the park, and I think that will help. No campfires, that goes along with the charcoal. I don't need scars everywhere, and I don't need wildfires going up the hillside into the neighborhood. I don't want skateboards or bikes within the fenced area. They can be in the parking lot, they can park, I can lock it up. I can amend that to no wheeled vehicles, no skating.
E-bikes.
Yes.
Is there a bike rack?
There is one that's already there. It's next to the restroom. No wheeled vehicles allowed within the fenced area except for handy-capable devices, accessibility devices. We have 2 dog parks. Dogs are only allowed in the dog park area unless it's a trained service animal. So not an emotional support animal, but a no kidding trained service animal. That's what's allowed, that's what's required by the law. That's what I want to keep it as. No playing or practicing golf. I've got nice new grass. I don't need divots out there.
No horses.
Council wants to discuss this one further. No adults in the posted kid-only zones, so that would be the splash pad and the play structures that are near the pavilion. Caper Acres in Chico has something similar. They have it 13 and under only. If you don't have a kid 13 and under, and you don't be there. So we'll try to model this as something similar to that, but right now I have it 17 and under. We'll see guidance and input from council next couple meetings from now. Be respectful of others. Parks are for everyone. Again, there's no entry fee to get in. And then report hazards or vandalism to park authorities. This is going to be a nice brand new park. We want to keep it nice and brand new as long as possible. There's a lot of interest in park rangers, volunteers, kind of community volunteers, and that's going towards Wade Atterbury. He's our parks guy. He's the one that's been taking a lot of those questions. We have a volunteer program. It hasn't really been utilized in the past, but we're going to revamp it. And a lot of people have reached out saying they're interested in volunteering for Park Watch. So we'll leverage that.
Can you get, is there any way, like I know sometimes there's community service. Is there any way to involve community service to do?
Community, you're talking like kids get in trouble, community service,
Yeah,
or?
even adults, or even like, I don't even know if we're making people do community service.
Yeah, I don't know if that's, I don't know if that's still a thing. What we want to not do is put non-law enforcement type people in a position where they're having to enforce laws, things like that. Right now, we're gonna have MLE. The plan is to have MLE sweep the park at the end of the day and lock up, and Parks Department's gonna open it up in the morning. So that from the closing hours to opening hours, there should be nobody in there, and it's
And
gonna
then
be clear.
it's literally going to be locked.
Yes.
That's good. That's how Rush does it. Like, I played down there, and when pickleball, it's all over.
But the entire park, not just pickleball,
Yeah,
the entire park.
the whole park gets closed, and there's security guard there, at 10 o'clock, for sure, if not, make sure everybody gets out of the park. All right, it works out good, because they have problem down there in Cedar States.
I think the splash pad rules, this is also gonna be, this is one of the kids-only zones, so these are signs. Some of these rules I have to have for Butte County Environmental Health to certify the splash pad. If you're sick, don't go. If you've been sick in the last 14 days, don't go. Please don't go.
Is there a shower?
There's a shower. There's an outdoor shower. The waters are circulated. Please don't drink it. It's going to be super chlorinated. Please don't drink it. The outdoor shower runs off into the, there's a little catch basin, kind of a storm drain. Highly recommended to rinse off before you get in the water, and highly recommended to rinse off when you get out of the water. It's not mandatory, I can't make it mandatory, but highly recommended. And no running. I don't need anybody running on that.
Before we move past the rules, can I
I have
say
one
something?
more.
Okay,
On the
go ahead.
pickleball. I think that's, we have some interested parties here. During our meeting with Feather River Park and Rec, and we had an avid pickleball user in the room, the pickleball folks apparently will police themselves very well. So I only have a few rules, and we'll see how that goes with council. First come, first serve, unless otherwise posted by the Parks Department. I'm going to recommend to the council that we don't charge rent right now, no reserving it for a fee, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it runs and then adapt. Same thing for the field.
So some sort like league or anything like that?
It'd be a special use permit.
Okay. And I was wondering, like, because I know we have the grand opening coming up very soon, if there might be some sort of thought of putting a tournament of some sort for pickleball just on the opening.
I'm not gonna plan that. I certainly wouldn't.
If we could make you feel better, we've got a number of things on our agenda calendar. We don't have a calendar yet, but we've got some people who will take care of leagues that'll happen at night. We're looking at putting together a clinic for teaching with a PPA player that was here not too long ago, Susanna Barr, and she could come.
Brought her to Durham, we played at Durham.
Lost my train of thought.
Oh, just,
Anyway, we have a number of things that we want to do. I don't know exactly what is involved with
That's
coordinating with
sort of-
you,
yeah,
and then
that's what I'm
I'd
kinda-
like to know, like, if we have $60 per person, is that going to cover things? You know, are you taking a cut if we have a tournament? How does that work?
So it sounds like right now it's special use permit.
It would be a special use permit.
And do we come to you for that?
No, you would go
The
to the
city
front
hall.
counter.
Just right here in the
Right
lobby.
here, so-
Yep.
is
Okay.
there a high overhead? Is there might be a big cost?
I think it's the cost for a special use permit is $100.
And do we need to have liability insurance?
Right now, no. The council didn't want to tack that on.
That's really going to be helpful.
I think maybe I'll make the second rule the first rule, be courteous and respectful to all players and spectators. No gum or food, water only. No glass.
Computers, no chairs, no chairs. Chairs is another thing which could be an issue, that the courts are small, but I can see problems being on the championship court of people bringing in chairs, bringing in food and snacks while their buddies
It's-
play on the championship.
It's gonna be a police your own kind of thing. We don't have the staffing to be down there.
It's what we see at Bedrock is greasy food and gummy bears and gum and spilled drinks. I know working at Chico Club, we have a pretty strict policy with no food on the courts, no chairs on the courts, no spectators on the courts for any of the tournaments.
Those seem like fairly common sense rules, so like say off, don't put your chair on the court, be in the grass or whatever the surrounding area is.
I'll add no chairs on the court.
For their safety.
Yeah.
Right.
No chairs on courts or inside fence. Because all the courts are fenced off and they have operable gates, so there's access restrictions to it.
To the different sections of the courts, so there'll be a separate opening for the 1 to 3 courts and the 4 to 5 6 and
I
7.
haven't labeled them 1 to 3 or anything. I'm not going to. I'm not gonna restrict access to the courts. As a public entity, as a taxpayer-funded park, I can't do that. I'm not gonna, no, I know you provided me with these last time,
Yeah.
but I can't make these signs and post them
Okay.
on the
And so-
fences.
That was just coming from an ambassador I play down in Redlands, California.
It's a great idea, but I
And it works
can't.
really well, it keeps everybody happy, keeps the runs. The ambassador is incredible, the vibes are awesome, the play runs good. And the gentleman who runs the program, he's gotten over 20,000 signatures of people going through there playing. And they keep busy, I mean, they only have 8 courts, and they keep it running smoothly with good, fair play. It's kind of turf wars up at 20th Street.
How many courts are at 20th Street?
16.
16? Well, hopefully we get some of those folks to come down here and come back to here. And then I've got games limited to 1 hour if players are waiting. If others are waiting to play, release the court to the next group of players at the conclusion of your game. I'll leave that up to the pickleballers. I imagine it's,
You want to post that?
I'm gonna post this at the entrance, every entrance to the pickleball courts.
I don't know about the games limited to 1 hour if players are waiting, because usually it's 4, if we finish 4 on and there's 4 people waiting, 4 off.
Yeah, that actually is inviting them to stay on.
Exactly.
I hate to say that, but that's
So-
how
How universal is the foul rocks at courts throughout the country?
yeah, you,
So just strike that line. If others are waiting, release the
How long does a
Everybody
pickleball
plays
game?
football knows that.
it's less than an hour. We're gonna make, if they're there for more than 2 games at a time, hogging the court, and people are waiting, you're gonna make them get off.
I know, I go down to
So-
John.
I struck out the one, I struck out the first one.
Others are waiting to play, release the court to the next group of players at the conclusion of your game. Yeah, so that, I think,
So you're
just
striking
that
the whole
second
first
part
line?
Yes.
The
is
whole first line.
fine, yeah.
And
Mickey, go ahead.
for folks that aren't playing a game, but that are just trying to learn and are practicing, they're not playing a game. So maybe they need a time limit.
There's a little court that they put in that's not, court size, they can start on. They just,
Are they limited? Are you limiting people who aren't practiced, skilled in the game to 1 court?
Anybody.
Okay.
if we realize somebody's new and don't know what's going on, we try to help them and we try to.
Right, right. I would just think, let's say mom and dad are bringing their kids and they're all trying to learn pickleball together. I'm just wondering if they have a time limit or if they're going to get kicked off or pressured not to play there.
We have people,
Great,
we have couples and people who will just be playing on their own and,
right.
We invite them to play
I-
with us
I-
and they
I- I'm a driller, I do a lot of, I'm down a lot of times, I try to, I go in the far court, but if it was packed, I would not be on there drilling away on my own.
It's a good group of people and they're very inclusive and very, helpful, so I don't think I'd worry about that.
We have a certified teacher also, Beth is.
Yeah, I've went to the Sunday game. I'm only Sunday worthy. So if I dare show up on a Tuesday, I think they're going to hurt me or something.
You probably see me down there, down there drilling on the court.
One rule I don't,
I'm through with the rules if you wanted to make a comment on the rules.
yes, I don't see anything on here that says, and maybe you said it and I forgot, that the pickleball courts are for the exclusive use of playing pickleball.
That's critical.
I think that's good because
Because
Good observation.
just as we were talking about other things you might be doing there, maybe there's 7 guys that want to play hacky sack on a pickleball. I mean, there are other sports like
Volleyball.
that
See that over there.
it's popular among the Asian communities where you kick that little hard ball that I could see being played on that.
Fitsu, and we've had actually, sorry, I did see on the social media some comments of when the Hewitt Park, and there were some footsie people, and I can't wait till those pickleball courts come in, because we're going to be using those for
So
Fitsu.
maybe that's
No kicking balls against the fence.
well, it's not kicking against the fence, but I think we have to consider inclusivity with that too. That maybe it's not strictly pickleball. Yeah. Yeah,
In other words, we want to say, these courts are
The-
for pickleball only.
but just as I was thinking it through, as you mentioned, people are already saying they want to play futsu is the name of the game that I'm thinking of, which is, I don't know if because is there going to be a space where they could use the park to, I mean,
I'm unaware of that game. I don't know what it does.
yes.
When Hewitt Park was, when we were in the making of the design, one of the components is that other part where the basketball court, that is a multi-use, that was put in as a multi-use
Okay.
in the direction that futsu could be put up and nets could be put up there and played for that. It was never mentioned futsu for the pickleball courts. That other court with the basketball was put there not just for basketball, but to be multi-use. That was what we were discussing in the workshop when it was going.
Okay, so yeah, so then maybe specifying something along the lines is these courts are for the pickleball use, if others are,
Waiting.
Well, they have it over at Bedrock that says these are for tennis only. I mean, that's been around for a long time. So I think
Yeah.
in order to keep the courts as nice as we want to keep them,
The nets.
and the nets, the way, so I think we need to have it on there. These are for pickleball only.
And just watching them, when you go by and seeing what they're doing to the nets and the kids hanging on them like they're swings and.
I'm really sorry to interject, but this is not Brown Act compliant by having a group discussion. We have to be Brown Act compliant, and so I welcome comments, but we do have to time them, and they have to be time certain to follow protocol. It's okay, sorry. I feel bad interjecting, but we have to just make sure we're compliant.
thank you
Yeah,
for keeping us honest.
absolutely.
So pull a blue card when I present this to the city council in a few weeks.
Okay.
Is there a line? I have a comment on the rules. I was just looking at the wording on your page 23. I just thought maybe to, page 23? Huh?
I don't have the packet.
Oh, got it.
Rules.
It's the general rules. So your charcoal,
Yes.
I just thought maybe to stay consistent with where you say no skateboard or no playing or no adults, maybe you say no charcoal except in the picnic pavilion.
Or is he meaning the only thing you can burn in the pavilion is charcoal? Which way is it?
That's the only place you can have a charcoal.
Okay, then I do agree with what you're saying, yeah.
No charcoal.
I agree, yeah. I thought that meant that you could only use charcoal, meaning like no wood or
Because I could be like, oh,
pellets.
charcoal's allowed.
No, if you want to use propane
Right,
grill
people
on
do
there,
read it
then
like that.
be fine.
Then I have a question about the propane grills and the picnic tables. Are those picnic tables some sort of plasticky material that could ever melt?
They're metal.
They're metal, okay. So that wouldn't be any danger to them to have a fire on it, okay. And then I also had a comment on the.
They're metal on top of concrete. So.
Right, so they're pretty stable. Okay, I just know some of those like, plasticky materials can melt. And then on the no adults and posted kid zones, my comment would be, we've made this a disabled friendly park. And in having no adults allowed, you also
That's been discussed,
don't allow
yeah.
disabled adults,
So-
so.
Need to come up with the words for that because
Right.
that's,
Yeah,
I understand
yeah.
the concern.
Okay, because I was
Gotta
part of
figure it
the,
out.
I was part of the visioning in the very beginning, and I know that was a big ask of people, as well as on Facebook. I've seen people bring up that they were looking forward to bringing their adult kids,
And so I don't want to make even anybody feel excluded, even though that's not those people sometimes are very sensitive to that. So I don't want the perception to be bad that we're trying to exclude anyone.
The goal with these is actually to get them into the ordinance, which would require public hearings. So there would be three opportunities to
Right.
speak out on it.
Right.
I do have a comment on that rule as well. I really like the 13 and under, because this doesn't say, because it's saying no adults unless accompanied by a minor, right, or a child, however you want to be inclusive on that. But I personally, I'm having a hard time imagining why 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds would be there by themselves. And if you want teenagers there by themselves, unaccompanied by adult, with other children in the playground.
Oh, not the splash pad, but playground.
Well, I don't know. Like, maybe I don't know I'm just trying to imagine the motivation of a 17-year-old to go play with a bunch of kids.
No, I understand.
If they're sibling or.
Their own friends too. I don't know that I would try to exclude teenagers just because because I think that splash pads are good places to cool off in the summer.
Yeah, the real concern was the adults, the older than teenage people.
Yep. But I think 17-year-old is practically an adult for some reasons. I'm just one council member. I just want to voice that. So. Commission, not council.
I just don't know where you would draw the line would be my concern, because I have a 14, almost 15, and she's like 5 still sometimes, so she would absolutely play in the splash pad. So it's kind of a hard line. So and Tim wants to play in the splash pad. And then I also wanted to ask, is there going to be a posted number where we report hazards? Okay, that way people know
That's
who to call.
part of the Butte environmental health permit to operate.
Okay.
I have to post that.
Okay.
That'll be posted on the restroom wall facing the splash pad.
Okay.
Can we go to the runways? Again, I want to reiterate, there's no feed in or park.
Thanks, Tim.
must be coming from someone.
It is.
There's general comments, pickleball courts, first come, first served, unless reserved through other means through the Parks Department. Athletic field, again, first come, first serve. You have in our rates currently for Hewitt Park that school groups can use those free of charge. They can reserve them free of charge, but then that's going to be during the school day, so I don't see too much of a conflict there. Picnic pavilion, the $50 for the 3-hour period, that's what we settled on last time. I'm still looking at that. What's the cost recovery? Like, what do we need to charge to break even on that is really what I need to look at. So that 50 may change. I know that's what we settled on last time, but the direction from city council was to make sure that's what we really want. What I am also going to do is we have a process for an income-based fee waiver, and it is not friendly. So we have that process in place, and I've been warned that it takes several months. I want to remove that and have first come, first served free rental. You sign up for it, and you get it you get your slot on the weekend by coming down to City Hall. That's what I want to recommend to the City Council.
Thanks. Last time we spoke about the fee waiver, we also mentioned possibly being able to do it through the library.
We need to do it through here because this is how we're going to know when we have to go up and clean it, so we can assign staff to it.
Okay. Fair enough.
And so did they fill Do they fill out any, is there any qualifiers or just if you request it, one per Saturday, one per Sunday? The first person, okay.
And then I'm gonna add a cleaning deposit for rentals, so that if it gets trashed, we can attach something.
Is it a deposit you pay or is it like a credit card on file? Do you actually pay it
You
and we
actually pay
refund?
it. You pay it and then get a refund. That's the current thinking. We'll see how it actually happens in when we go live. It's got some pictures, updated construction, so the grass is in. That was completed last Friday. Roots are growing. I need to wait 6 to 8 weeks for the grass to root sufficiently to get people on there. And I don't want to open the park until I can get people on the grass fully using it. So right now, April 3rd is what I'm targeting for ribbon cutting ceremony. April 3rd. That is the Friday before spring break, and the local schools have that day off. It just lines up perfectly. So I took both of these pictures from the barbecue or the picnic pavilion. You can see the tables that are right there. So those are metal tables. They're not plastic or anything. So they're pretty sturdy. And the next one, that's at the far eastern end of the athletic field with the dog parks. So that fence is around them, and got the little dogs and the big dogs, and they'll be marked as to which one's which, so that dogs play nice. And then the hillside, I had to add those little climber assist things in the middle. You may see those hoops with a little rope. That was to prevent people from taking bikes straight down the hillside.
What is?
Climbing assist. The climbing assist and a and a bike deterrent.
So people like me can climb. Keep up with my 6-year-old.
Then action requested, provide direction to me. I know we've talked about this through the presentation, but if there's any more comments, questions, direction, that's what I'm here for.
Can I ask you, access to the pickleball courts, is that gonna be a card key? that they've
I don't have
mentioned at
any
council?
card key right now.
No, I know, but they talked about it at council, last council meeting that we were at.
I don't have the infrastructure for the card key. That's not been stubbed in underground. It would be super expensive at this point. But that's a future, that'd be a future endeavor. What would be easier is the card key for the bathroom. That would be easier.
Good, that's a good idea.
For access. Is there in the board pack?
So
To
the
find a note.
council did provide direction to explore that in the future for Hewitt Park.
So on the direction, is that just on Hewitt? Or are you saying general park
Everything
direction?
that I've,
Talked about the whole time.
for this presentation, direction for whatever's on this presentation.
I don't think, did you have any part of Bedrock?
No, I did not. Bedrock
Okay.
was not part of this one.
Okay.
Bedrock will be the focus of next Parks Commission.
The metal tables, are those bolted down to the concrete?
It does not appear so.
I don't know if you want, might be a good idea to bolt anything down.
Good idea.
And you have dog park rules?
That's next.
Dog park rules next.
Dog park rules next. We don't have a dog park in town right now, except for Feather River at Riverbend, and I don't remember. Yeah.
There's like one sign, I think.
All right, so are there any administrative reports or commission reports?
I have no reports. I thought that was, I'm sorry, I thought that
No,
was a
you're fine.
question for, the folks on
Commissioner
the
reports, that's for us, right?
Right, I think that's kind of what, yeah, do you have something?
But I have a question about the logo. What's going on with the logo? Because I see two different logos being used on depending on which page we're looking at.
We have the city seal in front of you right here on the currently on our staff report. So there's some. So we can create a more finite process. So right now on all city council. When it's interagency correspondence.
So it's both. What do you see on trucks? And what do you see on badges and hats and uniforms to identify you guys?
So far.
Oh, go for it.
So far on our city we have our employee badges. Right now, visitor badges. So I think that kind of goes along with what we have a logo.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I did have one more question about something. So you talked a minute about the key card for the pickleball. What is the purpose of the key card on the pickleball? Would those just be unlocked during park hours, or why would we put for first come first serve pickleball? Why would we want to put key cards on them?
It would be access to the pickleball court. That was when we were talking rental rates, and it would be in lieu of a rental rate to go access it. But the actual mechanics of it hasn't been figured out.
Okay.
It was just brought up during.
Okay. Yeah, because it doesn't align with what I would think a public pickleball court would be. I mean, that seems more in the lines of private access.
But I believe that came up.
Yeah, we have gates at every single entrance to the pickleball courts.
Yeah, the latch up this high, so
Well, the perimeter
Or-
fences are
they're only that high.
only 4 foot high or so.
Oh, okay, so they're not like the full size, not like a tennis court fence that's,
No.
gotcha. Okay.
All right, do we have future agenda items?
I'd like to discuss that next.
I was going to specifically say about the trail grant we had applied for. I think looked into other funding opportunities to possibly get that started again as part of kind of what he had talked about, connecting the parks to the town. That trail is a really great opportunity, but it's in really bad shape, so especially to connect down to
Yes, thank you.
And then, since you've taken kind of the lead on that, kayaking water, maybe we.
Accessibility grant.
Yeah, if any kind of information,
Any kind of update that might come.
yeah. If we decide to pursue it as an individual entity.
Do we have any other park projects? What all parks do we
I
advise
have
on?
Hewitt Park's wrapping up, Bedrock Park is in design. Bedrock Park design is gonna be done, and then we'll go seek grant funding when it's ready. Those are the only two. Well, we'll do minor maintenance, like the pergola over at Rotary Park needs some attention. It's fallen down, so we need to address that. But that's minor things that we'll do in-house.
Okay.
Oh, oh, you can't. All right, if there's nothing else, I'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Regular meeting will be held on April